is sort of an espionage thriller set in 2074, so very soon, really. And it's a story about a man that takes on this big, nasty mega corporation to find the woman that he lost 7 years before, and in the process finds this new life to be, almost more alluring than the one previously. So he battles with that as he searches for this missing person.
The higher up you go, the less you can hide.
You really want this promotion, don't you?
More than anything. I've always referred to him as Ben. You meet him as Ben. I spend most of my time playing him as Ben, but there's this alter ego, the real person that he is, who's Aaron.
After a while, you'll think this is who you've always been.
It's polar opposite existences, I guess. So when he grew up, thanks to global warming having ravaged the planet and mass migration and huge climate refugee camps spawning across the world, and Louisiana falling into the ocean and New York underwater, and huge changes mean that a lot of immigrants, a lot of people, impoverished people around the world have had to shift around and move and try to survive. And Aaron was one of those kids. His family, I think, came from somewhere in the southern states, and as you'll come to find out, along the process, he's sort of displaced from his home with his father, and they end up in a refugee camp.
People out there, life pushes them hard enough, they'll do anything.
The morality math is exactly what I was weighing up the whole time doing this show. I guess the point is that this man, hopefully if people care about the story of Ben and Elena, or Aaron and Elena enough, and Denise plays it so wonderfully as well, that hopefully they will, it becomes an acceptable sacrifice. He'll do anything to help those kids, and they do. They displace those kids and they move them to other homes. But yeah, that weighs on Ben. He's it's anything that he does. The consequences are always so grave.
Laura, you know that if anything ever happened to me, I'd protect you.
What if you couldn't?
This was just a tough job in general. I think there were certain points when I was playing Aaron, playing Ben, playing somebody else. It was 3 levels of separation that just sort of fries your brain. And what I had to understand and come to terms with was that Aaron and Ben were the same person. They were just separate facets of each other. So I ended up working on the concept of 2 internal motions always rubbing against each other. You can display them as Ben or Aaron, you can explain them as Elena and Laura, you can explain it as green zone, red zone, whatever you want to explain it as. But ultimately what it is that Ben's persona is constantly battling its original secret super objective, right, which was Elena, and then all the pangs of guilt and human emotions that he feels in direct instances. So any special moment that he has with Laura, and he feels this love for this woman in this really sort of special moment, is then instantly sort of followed by this pang of guilt for lying to her about all the things that he's doing. He at no point ever gets any respite. He's always getting torn apart in 2 different directions. What you should do, what you shouldn't, saving her, not saving her, living your life, getting out.
Well, we've all heard stories.